Hello, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful day. This Sunday, this is the weekend edition of Global Morning, and today we are here. And of course, we will be bringing you a lot this morning. I know a lot of people are itching to know what happened yesterday at the FCT Council election. We will soon get to know what really transpired when we have a handful of informations. If you were with Global Television yesterday, you shouldn't be a stranger to what happened yesterday, or what happened yesterday shouldn't be strange to you because you already have mostly first-hand information about everything. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo. And of course, I'm not alone here. I am being joined by my very good colleague who has always been on the weekend edition of Global Morning. I have Mukhtar Kasim right here in the studio this morning.
It's a very beautiful good morning to you, Mr. Ramsey.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you on the weekend belt.
I would like to say the pleasure is all mine.
It's a great one. And of course, like you said, it's been a very busy weekend, especially with the FCT elections. Yes. And Global TV has been round the clock, working round the clock to make sure we bring all the latest that has been happening to our viewers. And I could say we did a good one.
That's exactly what we did, and we'll keep doing it. So what do you have to do? Just keep tab on channel 365 on DSTV and 276 on Star Times, and always be with us on our social media platforms at Global TV NG if you really want to be kept abreast of everything happening. As at yesterday, the FCT minister, all right, was moving around, to do a check. What's going on? Is everything going on smoothly?
Yes.
And some people were like, wow, FCT minister is concerned. And I was saying he should be concerned because his party, the People's Democratic Party, stepped down,
yes,
all right, for the APC candidate. So
that's an
invariably,
yes,
that's an AMAC.
Yes.
Invariably, they worked for the APC candidate in AMAC. And of course, ADC yesterday, a lot of people were rooting also for Dr. Mo. But then I think the result will say all of that. But one thing that makes that election very special is the fact that the FCT minister himself didn't say, okay, I've voted, let me go and rest.
Yes.
Or probably my boys are in the field, we are sure of what is going to happen, the security operatives are there, let's just relax, everything is going to be under control. He didn't do that. He had to go out to move from one polling unit to the other. And that was beautiful for me. What do you think? Because some persons, ordinarily, he would have just stayed back at home and just relax and watch everything on television or get information. What's going on?
You know, some people have said that particular action, they've interpreted it with two lenses. They look at it from two different angles. Some say, okay, this is a minister that's very proactive. He's trying to show you that he's actually doing his work and he intends for everything to go peacefully. And other people have said he did that so that he could have a bit of delivery for the APC, which is the ruling party in power. But whatever his intentions were, for me, I think it's a good one. The fact that he was up and doing, and he was not just resting on his laurels. He made sure that the process was seamless in terms of security, because we've heard a lot of stakeholders come out to say that election was peaceful. That's one particular description I've seen gone round with the FCT election. They described it as peaceful, even though, of course, we had issues with voter turnout. We heard that the voter turnout was not as much as expected. But one guiding principle that was agreed upon was the fact that that election was peaceful. So I think that might be part of the reasons why the minister stepped out yesterday to ensure that this election was as peaceful as it has been termed to be.
All right. Everybody is at liberty, to work for any party, irrespective of the party you're in. But then some persons will call it that is anti-party
activities.
But then I don't think anti-party is new in Nigeria anymore as we speak. But then let's quickly look at Amopitan himself, that is Joash. It wasn't just Some Wike that was on the field.
Yes.
The INEC chairman too, because number one, yesterday was a litmus test for the INEC chairman, talking about Amopitan, because since the Electoral Act was passed by the Senate, and of course, in accordance with the law, it's been signed already. So yesterday was the first time that would have been tested. All right. And yesterday we saw that the election was peaceful. We didn't hear too much of
scores of
inconveniences. Yeah, except for places like Abaji, Abaji. And we were saying it. We said when it comes to elections, places that you see violence more are interiors.
Yes, the hinterlands.
In the hinterlands.
Yes.
And some people will tell you, well, the reason why there are pockets of violences at these areas, in these interiors, is because probably there could be an attempt, all right, to rig the election or something going on, that there is no enough presence of security operatives. Things like that happen. But it's also good that security operatives were sent there or maybe remobilized, and that situation was calm. But he said beavers worked. As at yesterday, beavers worked. And if you're talking about electronic transmission, the first thing that will come to your mind is beavers. Okay. The only thing that I'm not very sure of now is whether it was real time, because some people tell you if it is real time, if it is real time, then you're referring to electronic voting. But what Nigerians were really referring to as real time is the result should be able to be transmitted real time, all right, from the polling unit, all right, to wherever it needs to go in the INEC portal, you know, so that a lot of people can actually view it. People can view it, and INEC is supposed to be transparent, of course. And the issue of people not turning up for elections. Samuel Odi was reporting yesterday about the early arrival, all right, of officials. And we saw the picture of the officials mounting, arranging their things quite early. Then in some parts, there were still complaints of the fact that up till 10 o'clock,
there were nobody to be seen.
There were nobody.
Electoral
officials were not there. So there are things, you know, we had a guest on our program here, and he said, this is an election. We're talking about technology. Technology has a lot, all right? It doesn't work in isolation.
No, it never does.
Human beings need to operate this technology, just give instructions and all of that. Then there could also be human factors to the functionality of these technologies. Okay, look, for instance, 10 o'clock in Nyanya, all right, election materials were not there. The people had waited. All right, that is a human factor.
That's a human error.
That's a human error. Who knows what was really happening? Why the delay? Is it that there was no proper preparation? Was it a breakdown of vehicle on their way to the polling unit? What exactly was the issue? So sometimes you can't really predict exactly what is going to happen.
And with the fact that logistics had been put in place way before the election, we've seen the INEC chairman come out and tell us that the processes have all been put in place, logistics have been provided, but time and time again we see these lapses in every election. We're not saying any election can be perfect, even across the world. Elections are not perfected because, like you said, there's always going to be human error, there'll be errors with the technology and all of that. But we should try as best as we can to reduce all this to the barest minimum. And with this FCT election, like you earlier said, it is seen as a litmus test as against what will happen in 2027. So if we can not get this properly set, is that an indication of what will happen in 2027? But of course, the scorecard has not been that bad. It's been rated to be at least above average, that is. So this for me is a pointer to what will happen in 2027, and we hope the electoral board, the INEC, would work on the gains of this particular elections, the wins, and they also will be able to take the corrections that are needed and improve them as regards 2027. You talked about beavers. Of course, people have said we want to see elections transmitted real time, because this would help in the transparency of the process. We've had issues with transparency of our elections for as long as we've had democracy. So we've said these things, if they are put in place, they will help us to have more credible elections, and that's what we've been clamoring for. And I remember the INEC chairman, I always make reference to this statement, when he got to office, one of the first things he said is he intends to conduct an election where the person who has lost would be comfortably calling the winner because of how transparent
like Jonathan did.
Exactly, like Jonathan did to Buhari in 2015. And that will be on account of the fact that the election would be adjudged as credible, free and fair. So I think we're getting there, but of course we still have more work to be done, and we hope we get this right as against 2027.
Yes, more work to be done, and everything is on the shoulders of the INEC chairman, Professor Joash Amopitan. But then the assessment yesterday that he did, though he was satisfied, according to Amopitan, he was satisfied with the conduct of the election yesterday. He gave it a pass mark. But that assessment was in AMAG. What about Buhari? What about Kuje? What about Gwagwalada? You know, Abaji and other areas. Okay, because I think probably, I don't know, but then he spoke from AMAG. He was satisfied with that of AMAG.
But you know, even with the fact that he was only on ground at AMAG,
he has his men.
Of course, he has the other people who have been deployed across all the area councils, and I believe his assessment, if it's a general one, that would be on account of the feedback he has received from the people who are at those places are reporting back to him as the INEC chairman.
All right, that's so beautiful. But then, well, this is a litmus test, and we're looking forward to what is going to happen in 2027, because the re-election is still coming up. And that's going to be in 2027. But then, in Kano State, do you hear?
Exactly. I thought we were not going to talk about that. Of course,
no. There is no way we can talk about this election without talking about the by-election in Rivers, and of course, the one in Kano State, the one for Rivers. People did not even, the turn-up was not encouraging. But with what is happening, some people feel, you know, there is one thing about the electorate and having the mentality that you already know who is going to win this election, especially in Rivers, where the council election was swept by just one party. So these people might say,
what's the essence of me going out?
We already know. You know, so
that's a wrong notion.
It's a wrong notion.
And that's one issue we've had in Nigeria. We always tend to preempt election outcomes, and we feel our vote doesn't matter or it doesn't count. And that is very wrong, especially among the young people. We see young people saying, why should I have to go and vote, because it's not as if my vote will count. That is wrong, and you cannot have a change that you desire, whether in government, whether in your life generally, if you have a pessimistic mindset. It begins with you believing you can make that positive change, your vote can count, and you can make that impact. That is very important. And once our young people have that mindset, not only young people, but why I always refer to young people is because, you know, we make up the larger percentage of the voting age in Nigeria. So if we don't have that mindset change that our vote will count, then most likely it might not count. So that's one thing I always think.
All right. Well, that is Mukhtar talking right there, meaning those of you that didn't go out in Rivers State yesterday to vote, you didn't do well. True. You defranchised yourselves, which is not the best. But what about people who came out in Kano State to vote and their party was not on the ballot? What would you say about that?
That's another
because I was surprised when I saw that some parties were not on the ballot yesterday. 3 major opposition parties, the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP.
Yes.
We know that PDP is a house in disarray, you know, but then that doesn't stop them from appearing on the ballot. Then you talk about the African Democratic Congress, which is seriously coming up. They were also missing right there. But the worst of all is the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP,
which was seen as
the dominant force, one of the dominating party in Kano State until the defection of Abba Yusuf, the governor of Kano State. But notwithstanding, we should still have some people who are still Kwankwasias
of course,
in Kano State.
The party still exists.
The party still exists. So if a a party exists, all right, it should appear on the ballot. This is a party that has been leading in a state. It's just like you saying there was an election in Anambra State and Abga, okay, was not on the ballot. So I don't really know what happened, but then it was being reported yesterday from Kano State that this major, okay, it has been described as major opposition parties.
Actually,
probably APC doesn't want. I don't know, but then I think INEC should be able to answer that question.
Or maybe it's a legal tussle. Of course, we'll find out details of that particular, because some of those things.
That the parties are not qualified to be on the ballot.
Disqualified from that particular ballot. Most times, that's what you eventually get to see. They go to court and they say this person you fielded is ineligible, and which means by extension that party would be disqualified from the ballot. So hopefully I would get to see.
Then it now happened to the three major political parties. And one of the things that may pose some level of argument is that these people are not new to the process of selecting a candidate for these elections.
True.
So it is confusing, but then we will wait until we hear from INEC or maybe the body that is responsible for that, but we know it's INEC.
True.
All right, everyone, it is still Global Morning, the weekend edition with Ramsey and Mukhtar. We'll take a quick break. After this break, when we return, we'll bring you the national dailies. What are the papers saying this beautiful Sunday morning? We'll bring you some headlines. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debates, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
for the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
New Imo is on the rise. In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodinma's leadership has left the pages of manifestos to become real actions and achievements. Transformations that piece by piece feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace to thrive, and in Imo, we are not leaving it to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are always watching, protecting dreams and opportunities. If you go to the quiet shore of Orashi Power, you will see the awakening of a hydropower roaring to electrify and energize a blossoming economy. The change is visible. The heartland of the East is under construction as new roads are threading together once forgotten places. Industry is humming again and communities are alive. At the center of it all, a digital revolution is rising. A new ministry with a new mission. Not just cables and codes, but capacity. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build a digital future. And as Orashi power goes up, so does Imo, lifting with it the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's take you through the national dailies and see what the papers are saying this morning. Let's get started with the Sunday Tribune. What is the Sunday Tribune saying this morning? Above the nameplate, we have this one which says Ghost Workers Controversy, right? Osun Governor invites EFCC, ICPC to investigate alleged padded payroll. I watched the auditor's interview,
Yes.
right, on one of the stations, and she was saying the money going down monthly is running. See, this is a state we're talking about here, billions, right? Like, is it 1 point something billion also every month? Ghost workers. On ghost workers. And this woman has come out with an audit. You invited her, all right, to do the audit. There's a lot of controversy with that Osun State issue, the ghost workers issue. The woman said that is the director of the company that was invited by Osun State to do an audit.
Yes.
All right. First of all, she said Osun State is now saying their report is not true. All right. But a committee was set up earlier to look at these issues because they knew they had issues.
True.
And a committee was set up to look into it. And they worked partly with their own report alongside with the auditor's report. And they came up with a whole lot of revelations. But at the end of the day, so many things were being said by the Ondo State government, and a lot of people were wondering why all that. Because first of all, you invited these people to do the auditing. All right.
Now we're seeing it right ahead that is even saying that Osun Varsity VC threatens legal action against this same firm we talked about. But generally speaking, the issue of what's it called now, ghost workers, I think it's would I call it a pandemic, because it's something we have seen reoccurring in almost all of the states. You see people who do not come to work, who do not even exist, in quotes, and they are receiving salaries every month. That is a high level of corruption, and it is something that's not good for our democracy, neither is it good for the economy, because people who are supposed to be earning legitimate finances from these states, they are being shortchanged by people who just sit down, not come to work, and get paid at the end of the month. It's actually a sad one. And I don't know why, if it's lack of political will or what that particular problem is, that we've not seen this particular incident become history. It's something that has been happening, and it's still happening.
It's bad.
It's really bad one.
Well, we're keeping our fingers crossed, because even the auditor said at the end of the day, EFCC or ICPC will step into it.
True.
We just wish the right thing is being done, so that at the end of the day,
those who are culpable,
yes, can be brought to book. And other states will also follow suit, sit up. Yes. I think there is need for this audit, because a lot is being swallowed.
Like
by
you said,
people.
It's a very, because if we see some, this is one of the states, if we're able to carry out a forensic audit across all the 36 states, only the Lord knows the level of corruption that will be unmasked. And we hope that is actually done, because it's not a good one, like we said.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and see how that is going to go. Another headline here says local government elections, low turnout of voters in FCT, Kano and Rivers. Then the rider to that very headline says allegations of vote buying in FCT. I'm still waiting to see where election will be conducted in Nigeria, and we won't hear of vote buying. Everyone that was in Anambra will categorically point to the issue of vote buying. And I was asking question, which party exactly was buying votes? And one guest said, well, you can't say all the parties.
All of the parties are involved in it.
All the parties were buying votes. You can't point to one particular party and say this is a party buying.
And what baffles me, Mr. Ramsey, it's not the fact that they're only buying votes. It is the meager amounts that they place on this vote. You buy votes with as little as 2,000, 3,000, maybe at most 10,000 naira.
He said the person he asked.
Yes.
She said 3,000. Which party? She said no. She's not telling you. You know, so this is how hunger and poverty has been weaponized.
That's
in
one
Nigeria.
aspect, Mr. Ramsey. People have said, okay, it's possibly hunger and poverty, like we said, which I actually agree to an extent. But other people have also said, is it the lack of contentment on the part of the electorate? Or is it the fact that they are just...
When you say contentment, what do you mean?
That is to say...
They have and they are looking for more.
They always want for more, because the amount, like we said, is 3,000 naira enough to solve your poverty? Is 10,000 naira enough to take people, the vast majority,
when
out
you
of the
have
poverty?
a system,
Yes.
you know, we need to put these things clear.
Yes.
If you speak with Nigerians all the time, what they will tell you is, whether I collect that money or I don't collect, they will still win. So it's better I collect it, even if it is not going to mean anything. I heard someone saying some people even collect other people's voters' cards to go show these people,
and then
to just collect that money and walk away.
But what you are doing, Mr.
they look at it as it is wrong.
It is very wrong.
Both the receiver and the giver, it's wrong. It is corruption. It is wrong in the system. But when you have a system, all right, that is given to this kind of action, this kind of act, you don't expect anything less, because the people are not even thinking about whether they are going to be poor for the next 4 years if they sell their vote, because they already believe that if I collect or not, these people are still going to emerge.
That's one part too. But you know, they say if you are coming to equity, you must come with clean hand. If you intend to demand accountability from people who you've elected in office,
do they demand accountability from political office holders?
They cannot, because if you sell your vote, you don't even have a right to demand accountability. That's my own.
So how is it done? How does electorates demand accountability?
First of all, by voting for the right people. Once you know you voted this person, because if you buy votes, my point is, if you are a person who has sold your votes, for me it is a transaction, and that is the end. You've sold and you've paid, so you can't come and ask for something else later. But if you are voting people because you know they are the right people who can deliver the dividends of democracy for you, tomorrow you can go and meet them and say, I voted for you, not because you paid.
How do you meet them?
Of course,
there
are very many processes. If it's a local government, you have the secretariat where you can see the chairman, the councillors.
You can just walk one person, walk to them.
The process is not as easy as it is, but we have to keep on trying, Mr. Ramsey, because you cannot be comfortable with people buying votes and saying it's because you feel this is the little you can collect and you'll not see them in 4 years. If you do that, for me, you've sold your franchise and you can't come and ask for accountability. That's my point.
Vote buying in all sense is wrong.
Certainly.
But then when you have someone who is ready to buy votes and you are hungry, maybe that day you probably does not have anything to eat.
Is 3,000 going to be what will solve your hunger? You spend 3,000 and it's just just one meal. Just one meal.
It can get here. Well, you're talking about one meal. It's either you get one meal or you get nothing. So that's what they think, and it's because of how the system operates. Well, vote buying, everyone, it's wrong.
Certainly.
And vote selling is wrong. If you're buying votes, you are wrong. If you're selling votes, you are also wrong.
So if this particular story, we see the mass story here at the middle that says politics of Electoral Act amendment as the kicker, and it says how APC governors lost out to NAS members, with a rider here that says governors alleged plan to smuggle indirect primary election, a second primary election into amended Electoral Act law yanked off by lawmakers. With details of this story on page 5 of the Sunday Tribune newspaper.
All right, more headlines for you right here. We have this one, which says policemen, all right, killed 2 while chasing alleged internet fraudster in Ogun State.
That's not a good one.
That's not a good one. Then this one says a gunman abduct couple, shot one in Ondo State. A lot happening toward the southwest
of Nigeria.
And of course, this one says a Benue community demand, of course, decisive action over renewed killings. I think one of the places in the north central that a lot of killings have happened so far is Benue State, and it's still happening. So I wonder what whoever that is doing that is benefiting. But then, well, one day is one day, because people's lives have been taken. Children are now orphans. Women are now widows. Men are now widowers. And we have a lot of people suffering in Benue State. What do they have in Benue State? Benue State is known as the food basket of the nation. But do the people still go to farm? So a lot of questions need to be asked.
It's honestly not a good one. And the fact that it's always reoccurring, it's something we see year in, year out. And I don't know but the government, basically, we always would put this at the feet of the government, because the essence of government, like we all know in a democracy, is the fact that they are meant to protect lives and properties and also provide welfare. So people cannot be dying on a daily basis unabated. So the government, as a matter of urgency, has got to step in to make sure this is something that doesn't continue to happen every single time. And away from that story, we see one here that says, basically, I think we've covered all the stories in this particular newspaper, and I think it's time for us to move to the next paper for preview, and that is going to be the Sunday Vanguard newspaper. And the Sunday Vanguard newspaper is leading with this mass headline that says El-Rufai versus Nuhu Ribadu. That is the Sunday Vanguard newspaper. El-Rufai versus Nuhu Ribadu as the kicker. And it says Tinubu's secret opinion poll, with rider here that says the Kaduna ex-governors, many battles. Another rider says Nasir El-Rufai as a threat to national security by Fani Kayode. Obasanjo era political advisor narrates how the root cause of the bitter rift between friends turned foes. Of course, this story is one that has been on the news, and details of this particular story is on page 8 to 11 of the Sunday Vanguard newspaper.
All right. Are you done with
That's a particular story about the RFI and...
Yes, the issue of RFI. You know, a lot of people will tell you, well, we didn't know it was going to go this far, but the way it is, I think it's still in the net of the anti-graft agencies.
Yes,
and some people have said, well, when he was in Kaduna State as the governor, so much happened.
True.
And some other persons will tell you, well, is it that he's been fished out now because he's not working in this administration? So a lot of things are attached to these situations most times. But then, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, what I think is justice should be done to every political office holders who have a finger pointed at him. Then sometimes we'll be tempted to ask questions. Do we have political office holders whose hands are clean? I would say yes and no, because there is a way politics is being played in Nigeria. So whoever that's the anti-graft agency are the police, of Nigeria who actually go after corrupt leaders.
Officials, yes.
All right. So whatever it is that is happening, we are still waiting to see what will happen, the outcome. The case maybe may end up in court. All right. Like
yes, the government has actually charged him to court. I saw a story about that yesterday. I think they said August. Was it August? A particular date has been set where the federal government.
There's going to be a hearing.
Yes.
All right. Maybe after the hearing, we'll know what is going to be the aftermath of the whole
But then
situation.
again, like you said, some people have questioned the sincerity of this anti-graft war. They say, okay, once this person is not in government, you go after them. But if they're in government, we seem to find a system to shield them. But by and large, I believe, like you said earlier, whoever it is that has been fingered or has been indicted and the evidence is pointing to their guilt, then they should be dealt with decisively.
But some persons will still doubt that. Some persons will still tell you about that there are some persons in this administration also that could still face the wrath of the law, and some are already facing it. And there is nobody that will be in power. There is no administration that will run forever.
Of course, you'll always
so
have that.
there will always be an expiration of your time, your reigning time. So ICPC, EFCC should ensure everyone who is corrupt is being brought to book.
True.
It doesn't matter whether you are in that administration or not, but are you corrupt? That's have you taken the people's money? Have you handled the people because you have the authority or position at that particular point in time? So whether you are in the party or not, provided you're found wanting, the law should take its course.
It should, because Mr. Ramsey, and if you're in the party and you're corrupt and you are being made a scapegoat, I think that would first of all restore public confidence in the fight against corruption. Be like, okay, this person is a serving this and that, and he has been prosecuted and he has been made to leave that office. That would actually...
They are like Beta Edu.
Exactly. So that would actually tell the people that this government has the political will.
You know, she is one minister, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs,
who was made to resign that office, and she has been on the probe. But even though people have asked how far so far on that particular probe, but of course,
well, they will tell you that they are still doing their investigations.
True.
Let's say it could be endless, but the bottom line is that she was moved out of office.
Certainly.
You know, and that means so much for a lot of Nigerians. Well, let's just go to the next story and move on.
And above that story, you see a story here that we've seen, and of course, this is the FCT poll. It says FCT polls Kano Rivers by-election as the kicker. This one says APC leads PDP, ADC in titanic battle for Abuja. Dominate Rivers, Kano State with a rider that says apathy, late start, vote buying allegations, trail exercise. A second rider here says CSOs, Yaga Africa raised the alarm over alleged 10,000 naira vote trade. Okay, moving away from that particular story, let's see one here that says in 2023 it was glitch. We don't know what we'll hear in 2027, and that is Bishop Matthew Kuka speaking there. And just beside that story, you see a story here that says 2027 as the kicker. City boy, village boys set stage for new Tinubu Obi face-off, with details on page 6 of the Sunday Vanguard newspaper.
So who are the city boys for and who are the village boys for? Well, let's just keep our fingers crossed. 2027, as a matter of fact, might not be rice and beans for some political parties, like people are thinking. It's not going to be milk and dry. Like it's not just going to be a free ride for some people.
It's not going to be business as usual.
Business as usual. A lot will happen. This is election that we're talking about here. It's just like somebody who was playing number 10 in Arsenal moved to Man City, and is still playing number 10. So it's going to be, well, the skills are still there, you know. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and see, because if you see these other parties, there are some of them have actually worked together before, and somewhere in that same party, and they decamped for some personal or
reasons,
whatever
reason. Tell you it was due to national interest.
Of course, so let's just keep our fingers crossed and wait for what will happen in 2027.
Let's see who would emerge victorious. But like we always say, whoever it is that emerges victorious should always have one thing at heart, which is the Nigeria first. Nigeria first.
Very important.
And still looking at papers, stories from the Saturday Vanguard newspaper. This one says Jesse Jackson invested part of his political career in Nigeria, and that is Prof. Akinyemi speaking. Away from that, we see he's 68, but he's asking for will to kill. And I think that's about the much you can take from the Saturday Vanguard newspaper. Let's move to the next paper, which is the This Day newspaper. And the This Day newspaper has a story here that says, that's the key story here. It says, after Tinubu's executive order on direct remittance, FG moves to probe past revenue collections. With the rider here that says, demands full compliance from NNPC, NUPRC, others. The second rider says, NNPC, Dangote Refinery renews strategic alliance. And above the masthead, which is above the nameplate, you see a story here that says, APC holds local government congresses in Lagos, Ondo, Gombe, Enugu, Katsina, others, with details on page 6. And still above that, another story here says, amid tight monetary policy, Stanbic IBTC, FCMB, 3 other banks reserve with CBN rise to 6.9 trillion naira. And a bit of politics, which we've seen before, so we'll just roll past that and not dwell on it. APC in early lead as INEC collates result of FCT polls amid low turnout, with a rider that says, Amupiton, Wike commend peaceful, orderly election. Another rider says, I imposed curfew with Tinubu's approval. That is the FCT minister replying, Kingibe, decries low voter turnout. A rider here also says, ADC, that's the Action Democratic Congress, slams Wike over alleged interference in FCT polls. And more riders here. IREF not displaying results. Obedience movement alleges. Details are all on page 5 of the This Day newspaper. And that's about the much you can take from this paper. Move to the next paper, which is the Sunday Independent.
All right, on the Sunday Independent, we have a few headlines there that we would be taking. The big story, that's the star story, says electronic transmission. That's the rider. 2027 Bobby Tribe. All right, then we have some riders to that story. And the first rider says Nigerians want mandatory real-time transmission. That is coming from Onovo. Continued protest by CSOs, a democratic process. That's coming from Ojo. Then we also have the picture of course, the Senate president right there. Well, his mouth is open, meaning he's saying something. Industrial Policy 2025 challenges, all right, are held both promise of jobs, production, growth, and of course, above the nameplate. I think have we taken that
no, we
already?
Have not, Mr. Ramsey.
All right, above the nameplate, this one says, as stakeholders, all right, caution over deployment of U.S. military. Okay, well, we heard that the U.S. military are in Nigeria. They've been entering in batches.
Yes.
Well, those are the headlines from the Sunday Independent for you this morning as Mukhtar will bring us The Nation, which is going to be the last before we get into the first conversation.
Most definitely. Moving to the next paper, which is the Nation's newspaper, and it has the same stories we've seen. It says polls as the kicker. APC leads in 5 FCT councils, win Rivers seats. With riders here, one says PDP candidates leads in Gwagwalada area council. A second rider says APC ahead in Kano elections. NNPP, PDP, ADC boycott. And INEC chair hails peaceful, orderly polls amidst low voter turnout. And above the nameplate, you see a story just by the left that says old members allege hijack in Enugu as APC holds congresses in state, with a rider that says police arrest 13 over deadly violence at Ondo APC ward. With details of this particular story on page 8 of the Nation's newspaper. And above, just beside that story, a bit of security here, it says troops disrupt IPOB kidnap plot, rescue 5 in southeast, with a rider that says NANS alleges inhumane treatment of Nigerian students in India. Details on page 2 of the Nation's newspaper. And I just go below and you'd see a story here that says Umahi decries vandalism on Lagos Calabar coastal highway, with a rider that says section 1 will be ready for commissioning in May, with details of the story on page 6. And let's see a bit of sports that says Brentford's Michael Kayode is speaking, and he says, I'm no more than my long throw-ins. I'm more than my long throw-ins, that is. And details of the story are on page 20 and of the Nation's newspaper. And below that particular story, you see a headline that says Fani Kayode speaking, and it says El-Rufai's wiretapping confession helpful in war against terror. Details of the story is on page 9 of the Nation's newspaper. And that's about the size of the newspaper review. We go on this break. When we return, it will be time for our first conversation of the day.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
New Imo is on the rise. In the beating heart of Owerri, business never sleeps. From sunrise to sundown, the wheels keep turning. And behind the scenes, vision meets action. Governor Hope Uzodinma's leadership has left the pages of manifestos to become real actions and achievements. Transformations that piece by piece feels like a miracle. But progress needs peace to thrive. And in Imo, we are not leaving it to chance. From land to sky to river deep, guardians are always watching, protecting dreams and opportunities. If you go to the quiet shore of Orashi Power, you will see the awakening of a hydropower roaring to electrify and energize a blossoming economy. The change is visible. The heartland of the East is under construction as new roads are threading together once forgotten places. Industry is humming again and communities are alive. At the center of it all, a digital revolution is rising. A new ministry with a new mission. Not just cables and codes, but capacity. 500,000 young minds trained each year to build a digital future. And as Orashi Power goes up, so does Imo, lifting with it the hopes of a hard-working people. A new Imo is on the rise.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
On Global Morning. Once again, this is the weekend edition, and of course we are getting started with the first conversation right here today as we look at the impact of education on women. You know, a lot of people have different school of thought when it comes to women. Some people will say there is a level to which a woman is supposed to be educated. Some will say, hey, women are not even supposed to be educated at all. Then you begin to connect it with societal effects, impacts in the family, on the children, on the husband. And the role of women in societal development cannot be overemphasized. So today, we have an educationist and human capacity development expert that will be speaking to us in the person of Dr. Helen Akobi. It's good to have you join us on the conversation this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. When we're talking about education here, and we're talking about women, I actually decided to speak with you today because you are a woman and you are an educationist, and you've interacted with a lot of women as it has to do with this, and you even work with some. So as it is right now, when you talk about education, all right, for women, what are we referring to when you talk about education, educating women, education for women in particular?
Yeah, thank you so much. When we talk about education for women, we're talking about improving the lives of a woman. We're talking about bringing women into civilization. We're talking about exposing a woman into a world. Now, let's take our minds back to the earliest society. In the early days of the society, women, and even to some extent, even up till now, in some culture, there are still these bridges against women, these limitations against women. They look at women as underprivileged women in the society. They look at women as underprivileged. A woman is not meant to go to school. A woman is not meant to be educated. And that really has affected the early stage of the society, like the 19th to 18th century. Women were not allowed to go to school. Women were not permitted university education. We were not permitted. If a woman is working in an office together, in the same office with her husband, a woman is not permitted to receive a salary of her own. The husband has to receive the salary and give her the portion he wanted himself. And that's how a woman was treated in the early stage of the society. But I thank God so much for just 2 women rose up to fight against, and the law was abolished by the effort of these 2 women. A woman by the name Elizabeth Candle and Susan B. Anthony. These 2 women rose up and fought in America then, and they fought against that law, and the law was abolished. And today, a woman can have a voice. Today, a woman can go to school and become even a PhD holder. A woman can become a professor. I can see women rising in all sectors of the society today. I'm so proud of the woman. And I want to encourage that more of this should keep on. We need to encourage the women and bring them up. Because a woman, if you empower one woman, you are empowering 100 women. So.
All right. Thank God for the abolishment of that thought or mentality, as the case may be. But then, a woman going to school, okay, why do you think it is necessary? What are the impacts of a woman? If you see, they say, okay, you believe in the school of thought that say women should go to school, as against some culture, because up to today, there are some cultures where they even said Western education is a crime, where women don't go to school. The girl child, you know, it's not a priority when it comes to school, even in this our day. So what does that mean to the society and the family?
Well, I want to advise that the woman, Because if you empower if a woman is educated, it will affect her family. She will raise her children in a modern way. I mean, there's a different. She have a different mindset towards life. There's a way she look at life when the woman is educated, when the woman is learning. There's a way she does her things. A woman knows her rights. You know, in my times, like this belief in Africa that the women are limited. If when a child is born and they ask, what sex is this? And once they say she's a girl, there's a way people look at it. But once you hear that this child is a boy, everybody's clapping hands. But I want to let you know that women have more opportunities now than men. A woman can be working in the same office with a man. She's receiving 50,000 as a salary, and the man is receiving the same salary. This woman, from that 50,000, will help her children, she will help her husband, she will help her in-laws, she will give her money to her pastor, she give offering in the church, she buy clothes for herself, she cook from that 50,000 naira. Whereby a man can never be diverse, you know. A man cannot, you know, go to that level of spending her money.
So all of that is happening because the woman is educated?
Educated, yes, the woman is educated and the woman is enlightened. You know, she knows her rights. Even the choice of partner, life partner. You know, in those days, in my mother's time, you don't need to pray for a husband. Your father will tell you this is who you should marry. You should get married to. Or your mother. Your father will take his friend as old as he is. You must get married to this, my friend. You have no choice. But now, in the modern society, the 21st century women, they have the choice, the right to choice of their own, to make a choice of a life partner, a choice of a career of their own. In those days, it wasn't so. So, women, empowering women in the 21st century is a great gain, both to the family and the society. And you know, of course, for every workable society is made of good women and children. Any good society is women and children are the bedrock of any good society. So the women have to be empowered and educated. Women education must have to be promoted from the grassroots and to any level.
Oh, all right, let's look at some women. There are some women that don't want to go to school. What can you do about that? When somebody don't want to go to school, what is the level of orientation now for women of that age? Because there are some girls now that if you ask them, or maybe probably you want to take them to school, you want to even sponsor them in school, some will tell you, no, I don't want that school, I want to do business, why not empower me, I want to do business. Or you see some just being cold when you want to talk about education, because it doesn't mean anything to them. I know there is a lady in the Riverine area, okay, is it Bayelsa also, who does a lot of crayfish selling. For people like that, they will tell you, and she supplies everywhere. You know, people like that will tell you, well, we don't want education and all of that. So how can, all right, you are a doctor, as a matter of fact. What can be done? What are you doing? People in your category who know the value of education, what are you doing? And how can you make these people believe that education is not a scam, that education can bring to them what you just said? What can be done, and what is the level of orientation?
Yes, part of it is what I'm doing. Going into massive publicity, massive awareness from the grassroots. I did a research recently in my village, because the comfort you have, you should comfort others. If God has helped me, I'm educated, God has helped me to the level of becoming a PhD holder, I should see how to encourage others in my environment. And I was shocked at what I got. The little girls now, immediately after primary school, after secondary school, they just get pregnant. That's a trend now. They are looking at education now as a scam. Why? They want to make money quick. They want to make money quick.
I thought it's common with just the boys. The women are doing it too.
The women are doing it. And the most primary among the women is getting pregnant. It's pregnancy, early pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy. You know, in my time, I came out of a village. I don't know about you, but me, I'm a village woman.
We all have village orientation.
Thank
we came
you.
from somewhere.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So I thought it's only me.
No. We all have that orientation.
So that in my time, then we have to leave my village. There's no secondary education. It's only primary school we have in my village. So your JSS 1 to 6 to SS 3, you have to go to another village. So we were 13 girls that left my village and 3 boys. So 15 of us in our set then were all classmates that finished our primary school at that time. Out of these 13 girls, 10 of them returned back to their parents with pregnancy. That their parents have money to even sponsor them and equally sponsor me, because my father wasn't a rich man. Now, one of these girls that the father was among the rich men that sent their children among us, after our first term, she became pregnant. While all of us returned back to the village, we didn't see her, and we started looking for her. She followed the man. When she noticed she was pregnant, she didn't bother to come back to her parents. She made her way from there to the man's house.
From school to the man's house?
From school to the man's house. All her books. Those are her marriage items. You know, when you want to get married, your parents will have to buy things for you, buy wrappers, other things. So the things her parents bought for her for school was what she took for her marriage. That was how the school ended. Now, it didn't end there. Do you get? The 10 of them ended up not finished up to WAEC. None of them wrote WAEC among us. It was 3 of us. Now the 3 of us, one among us is a medical doctor, and the other girl is a senior. You drop. Some second term you drop. Some second term JSS 3 is drop. You know, they couldn't get to, most of them couldn't get to senior secondary.
And it was all because of men?
All because of men.
They want to follow man?
No, I'm not saying that the guys in my village like men, no.
No, I didn't say so. I didn't say so. I didn't even ask of your village in the first place.
So, my own was actually built, the vision of education for me was built to me by my father. Yes.
The peasant farmer,
yeah,
who wasn't even educated as that time.
And wasn't rich as other parents. I don't know where my father got that knowledge from. My father will call me, you this girl, you go far. You this girl, you go to the university. I never heard of masters, I had not heard of PhD then. My father only told me we only knew that when you finish your secondary school, the next place is the university. We didn't know anything about the master's education or PhD or even to get into becoming a professor. We didn't know. But my father built up that vision in me. And to crown it all, what actually kept me going then was when I bring my results home, my father will pick my results and we will look at it. And I will tell him, because he's not educated, I will look at him and say, anywhere you see red though, that means I fail. But anyway, there's blue biro, I score, it means I pass. So anytime you see that the red biro is much on my result than the blue biro, that means I failed. And then my father told me, I will not see red biro. I'll keep seeing a blue biro. So when I bring my results, sometimes I will have one red biro. Their parents, their brothers, their uncles, keep celebrating your daughter. Always draw I was very close to my dad, to a point that other of my siblings, and including my mom, were jealous of my relationship with my father. I was very close to my father. And my father doesn't joke. You dare not touch me to beat me. So what happened around me, sometimes now, I will tell them, I say, if my father were here, because he's late now. He's late. If my father were here and watch you do what you did to me, you'll be in soup. You'll go to jail. But my father will deal with you. My father doesn't allow anybody touch me. So my father celebrated me. The main figure, that is part of it. And even as a husband, celebrate your wife. Because even there are some women who are married to men, you know, the man is educated, he has done his first degree, has done his second degree, is now PhD, and the woman is still secondary. The woman has not done anything about his education and is not carrying her along. I still want to encourage that, because there are a lot of women also who are married today, are not privileged to go to school, and they are married to even a man who is educated. You are to encourage this woman.
But what do you think could be the reason why a man should go as far as master's, PhD, and the wife is a secondarian? What do you think would keep the lady like that? Don't you think sometimes the ladies may not want to go through the stress? You know how stressful it is. You know how stressful it is to become a PhD holder. Don't you think so?
It's not a joke at all. It's not a joke.
So don't you think the women may say, no, please, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Or you feel it's the men that didn't encourage them like your father did?
It's the men. Because some men, with the African mentality that she will become shiner than me. She will become more exposed than me. So there are some men who still believe with that African mindset, that in this African society, that African mindset, that a woman shouldn't go to the university, a woman shouldn't build a house, a woman shouldn't buy a car. But I'm encouraging my girls that men these days want to even marry the one who is even the PhD holder, the one who even built a house, the one that own a car. Am I lying, sir? Those are the kind of women men these days are looking for. So, but they just deceive those girls because they are naive and telling them education is a scam, becoming a better version of you as a lady is a scam, you are limiting yourself, you not see a husband to get married to. It's a lie. It's a lie. Most men are looking for such women nowadays to get married to. Women are rising, sincerely. Women are those who actually have value for education and are pursuing it. Women are rising in the educational sector. Go to the health sector, the sports. Women are rising. So nobody should deceive himself or herself as a woman. So with what I'm doing, with what you are doing, from house to house, family to family, and it has to start from the grassroots, from the family. The family. The father have the role to play. The father have a role to play. It's not just only me who came out of that. This is my family. I have another of my siblings also who will soon become chartered accountants. All through my father encouraging us to go to school. He never went himself.
The whole load is on the man. Is it the man that will stop the woman? Okay, I understand what you mean. The encouragement should come from the men. The men, every man should encourage their girl child, so that what they hear at home will supersede what they hear outside. But I'm very interested in the story of these 10 girls, that dropped out of school because of men. They all got pregnant. 13, all right? Just 3 out of the 13. What about the 3 boys? I know they all finished their school, right? Or they were part of the people that impregnated these girls?
No, the 3 guys, I don't even hear about them anymore. Some of them, after their secondary, they became farmers.
After their secondary school, they went back to farm?
To farm. One of them went to Lagos. I didn't hear about him again. Anyway, I didn't hear about him. But the girls, I'm so interested on the girls.
But the woman, we're talking about the impact of education on women. The women themselves. Because, like you said something very vital now, and that is the issue of catching them young from the grassroots. Encouraging them, telling them education is not a scam. But like you just talked about these people that got pregnant now, what do you think is responsible for girls who believe, because the era of social media, let's bring that in now. The era of social media, a lot of girls believe, provided I can chat, provided I can use Mary K or Mary B or Mary C or DZ, I will make up and do whatever I want to do and go on social media and rock my life. And you know, the Gen Zs, a lot of them don't believe in education. We're talking about the 21st century girls now, all right? Ordinarily, you should say, well, with this internet age, there should be competition. You should look at this person and say, well, this person is doing well, I want to be like this person. But the people, a lot of them want to be like just people they see on social media. So all they are after, all right, is let me look good, let me dress well. So they go follow a lot of men, even married men, just to get money and look good, and education is not their thing. So what do you think? Whose responsibility is it to correct this error? You, the women, the government, or who do you think is supposed to do that? Or you feel the girls are supposed to just concentrate on social media and live their life? Because a lot of them are patterning their life. Their life is being patterned based on what they see on social media these days. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. In fact, the TikTok is, if I can dance, if I can do this. You see a lot of people going nude on social media, and you see, especially TikTok, and you see drop star, do this, and for them, education is nothing. So what would you have to say about situations like that?
Well, I want to say that those kind of life, it doesn't last. It does not last. It doesn't last. It has a time. A time will come, this era also will still fade away. This era, social media continues. But if you want to live a life that lasts as a woman, is having something that can last for you. Let's say, for example, of women that have risen in the society. In Africa, I will mention but a few. Women like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. She can never be found doing such because she knows the value of herself. Well, education will train you on how to even behave on the social media. Education will let you know that as a woman, it is not good to appear nude. Education will train you on how to dress, on how to behave, how to do things, how to coordinate yourself, how to live your life that can please yourself and please the society. You know, so those lives they live, it's all temporary. It's a temporary life. The only thing that you build that lasts is when you build your life in education. You grow yourself, you develop yourself, personal development. You read. Those are the kind of life that you live and it lasts. And again, is how we could help. How can we help these girls out of this? Is a business of every one of us, both the government, both the family, both we who are, you know, advocating for learning and education and all of that. We must keep on speaking it to the ears of these little ones. They must have to keep hearing something. They have to keep hearing something, and then also advising them to have a role models. Most of them. Is a role model, the kind of role models they have, the kind of people they watch, the kind of things they watch that actually propel the life they are living. So if they can have role models, they advise them to have role models, have people they follow, have books they read. They should start reading books. Most of them these days, they don't read. The only thing they do is to social media. Everything is social media. The news that goes on social media, that's what they read. So they have to encourage them. Like one girl, I had one little girl who scored the overall mathematics in her WAEC in her time. And then when she was asked why she scored that higher, and she told them, when she was being interviewed, she told them that from her junior secondary, she started reading the book of Ben Carson. She started following Ben Carson. She said Ben Carson is her role model. So that she started following up Benkasi, a young little girl who scored highest in mathematics in her time in that year when she was being interviewed. So these little ones, they need to get role models. They need to have people they follow. They have role models. And also, it can come from the father too. In a program such as this too, you encourage them to watch, encourage them to listen to news. Let them follow women who are doing well, women who are educated. You know, people like us too. Apart from my father, role models also made me what I am today. I followed people. I followed women because I'm so attracted to women who are educated. I'm attracted to women who are made it in life and, you know, are aspiring in life. I follow a lot of female professors. I read much about them. I read so much about them. I don't know if I'm going to become a professor. I don't know yet. But I read a lot about professors.
Yeah, it's good. But because it's going to help you in a way. Now, with what is happening now to our girls, all right, who don't care about education, because being educated has impact. You've just been talking about the impact of being educated. What is the impact of not being educated for these girls? You said it's not going to last. Whatever they are doing on social media today, it's not going to last. But some will tell you, well, enjoy it, have fun when it lasts. Because it appears a lot of them know the implication of what they are doing. So, not being educated, what do you think is the implication? Because people are watching from all over right now, and a girl child, a woman, a mother, someone somewhere might be listening or watching us right now. So what is the impact? Okay, what would the impact be on a girl who is given to social media? Well, let me enjoy it while it lasts. Now I am young, you know, let me do it. What is the impact? What will happen thereafter to people like that?
You know, like I told you, women and children are the bedrock of the society, any good society. It's still going to voice out to the society. If at the 21st century, the girls are having negative attitude towards education, at the 21st century, where the world is civilized, civilization have taken place. So are they telling us now that we should go back to the Stone Age? If you want to tell us now, I don't want to go to school, those girls are telling us we should return back to the Stone Age. Because at the Stone Age, there was no civilization. Because there was no education. It's only education that fostered civilization. So when education came up, now the society development started in the society and all of that and all of that. If they say they don't want to go to school now, we are encroaching to the 21st century, 22nd century rather. So are they saying we should go back to the Stone Age, or what do they want? The truth of the matter is that, like I told you, these girls are still young. Most of them don't even know what is good for them and what is bad for them.
So what will happen to them is they continue like that?
Yes.
With that mentality of not going to school, just focus on social media, do your painting, do imbecile style on Facebook and Snap and put and all of that. So what will happen to them at the long run? It
won't last. They're not going to have a better society or a better life tomorrow. I'm not praying against them. But something has to be done about it.
But there are men who are saying, hey, go girl, hey, you are beautiful, you are this and you are that.
And they are educated.
Yeah.
And they don't want these ones to be educated.
No, it's not their fault. They are not the ones saying they shouldn't be educated. It is the lady's decision, the girl's decision to do that on social media. We also have boys who are even saying education is a scam too. You know, so it is what they have chosen for themselves. And some people will look at them as being gullible and take advantage of them. Some will tell them, oh, you look very beautiful, just because they want to get them or something and all of that. So I don't think it's the men's fault. Do you think so?
No. You see, like the guys, I don't want to go to the guys because I'm much interested in the ladies. That's why I said I've not mentioned the boys. Most of them now, they said education is a scam. And they look for business to do. They look out for whatever they can get money very fast. But this will not last, like I said. It won't last. Whatever you know for yourself. I'm wearing a wristwatch, a bangle. This cloth I'm wearing will one day fade up. Is that not so? It
Sure.
will fade up. If you are driving a Prado Jeep now, give it 5 years. Give it 10 years. We will have another model of a Jeep that everybody want to buy. So, in other words, the Prado Jeep is now outdated. That's what they are trying to tell us, or trying to tell themselves. Education, learning, knowledge, improvement, personal development, all those are the things that will live in you till you die. Nobody takes it from you. Nobody takes it from you. That's why it is important. We have seen men before, like some of the businesses, I don't want to mention, that rise up in the society. Everybody say, hey, yeah, this is the happening game now. This is the happening business. Everybody rush there. Before you know it, you no longer hear about it again. So what we are emphasizing is to build on what lasts, what will last for these people. We are not saying that if you are not educated, you will not live a normal life. Of course, you live a normal life. Of course, even till today, there are people in the society who have adults who didn't go to school at all. Till today, they didn't go to school. But on my own, as a human development expert, I still return back to those adults, and I'm still advising them, pick up a distance learning program and improve on yourself. You become a better version of yourself. It's all for yourself. Just get to know something. I don't know how people look at life anyway, but like me, I want to know something new by the day. There's something, like they say in an African proverb, if you want to hide something from an African man, put it in a book. And sincerely, they won't read. But I'm advising that you should keep reading. That thing they are hiding from you, that they kept it in that book. Pick that book and read it and get to know the secret of what is in that book. So we don't have to close our mouth. We will not close our mouth. We'll keep on letting these younger ones know about the importance of life and education. That all these ones they are looking for, it doesn't last. Let's build on what will last for us.
All right. If you have an access now to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and we're referring to the federal government now, what would you tell the government as it has to do with girl-child education and its impact? What would you require of the government to do to encourage you, who is a PhD holder, and other children who are saying they want to go to school, or those who say, well, school is a scam? We are all under the same government in the same country. So what will be your proposal to the federal government? What do you think the federal government can do to improve the impact of all of this, our discussion?
Yes, the federal government should start with, because most times, some of the problems, we didn't talk about the problem, another problem. So some of the problems also that hinder these younger ones, especially the girls, sometimes is poverty. Yes, it's poverty. Sometimes it's poverty. They don't have school fees to pay. If the government can provide more scholarships in the tertiary education for them, for these children to go, because some of them are really willing to go to school. They are really willing to go to school, but they don't have the means of going to that school. They don't have. I've seen 1 or 2 or 3 of these girls come to me, Dr. Helen, I really want to sponsor. I really want to go further in my education, but I don't have the money. So if the government can do something about it, either building up a school where they can offer a scholarship. Maybe you write some exams, and then when you are qualified, you go into that school. Or offering school fees to support these girls from the grassroots, and then encourage them. That's my advice.
That's what you want the government to do?
Yes.
Oh, all right. You know, a lot of people have blamed. Now, you were praising your father. I thought you were going to say, yes, my mother said I must go to school. What is the role of the women in all of these things that we are saying? You've talked about the government now. What about the women themselves, the mothers? Because they said charity begins at home. No matter what is in the society, no matter what people are saying, I know there are a lot of voices out there, a lot of things happening out there that if you're not careful, peer influence, the people you work with, your friends, they can actually influence you if care is not taken. But the mother have a role to play. And take, for instance, you just talked about these ladies that went to school. 13 of you, only the 3 of you succeeded. The rest got out of school at different stages with pregnancy. It means there was a lacuna in the place of sex education, probably, I don't know. So now let's look at the woman folk. What is the woman doing to help fellow women?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mentioning my dad doesn't mean I want to leave my mother aside. It's just that it's a role. As a child, whatever a little child sees, children they don't forget. Whoever play a better role in their lives, that's the one they keep referring to. Now, let's come back to the area of the women. The motherhood in the lives of the younger generation, the younger girls coming up, is in fact, most times, a woman is supposed to play the major roles in the lives of the children than the father. So the women, they have major roles to play. The women, they have major roles to play in the lives of these younger ones coming. You see, like myself, anywhere I'm passing on the road, in the environment where I live, once I see a girl, anything happening, I stop. If I need it, one day I was passing and I saw this lady coming, and she was dressed without, I don't want to go into details. Yeah.
She was exposing enclaves.
So I paused and I called her aside. I said, why are you dressed this way? And then she said she's sorry. I said, please, this thing you are saying is for your husband. It's not meant for the public. It's for your husband. Are you hearing me? So she said, thank you, ma. I won't dress that way again. Thank you, ma. So if we can keep on doing,
You're lucky that she's not the type that will pick on you. What's your business? Some of them will pick at you and say, it's none of your business.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
But that shouldn't deter us from saying the right thing when we see one anyway.
That is it. Because our society must become a better place. We must make our environment work out. We must make our society. And the society is made of you and I. It's not the government alone. It's not. So we have to put efforts wherever you are. Assist them. Encourage them. Give them your counsel. Add your value to them. You don't have to wait until they are your children, your biological children. No, it's not so. So the women have the better role to play in the lives of the younger girls coming up. They mustn't have to be your biological children, woman out there. The girls around you, in your neighborhood, in the school, some of them are teachers. You take these children as yours and advise them, encourage them. Tell them, discuss with them. And how do you get close to them? When you see them, take them close to yourself. Discuss with them. Open up. They will open up, even things they can't open up to their parents. They will open up to you. Be interested in them, in their education. Ask them of the courses they want to study. What do you want to study? What do you want to become in the future? When you start that way, you see them smiling. You are getting into their hearts. What's your name? Who are your parents? Your position in the family? What number are you in the family? What do you want to become in life? Which course do you want to study? If she's already in the university, what course are you studying? And then ask her questions in that area where she is learning. And this is how you get their mind. That's how you get their mind. And they will keep smiling and they keep calling you and keep coming to you. So it's actually a game of everybody to help out these little ones to come up and then face their education and face their life. It's not just a one-man show. It's not just a one-man show. So we just have to do something to better our society and help the younger ones so that they have positive attitude towards education to become. Another thing again we need to do is that, like I have said it earlier on, pick up one woman you know in the society that have made it educationally. Pick up 1 or 2 or 3 of them. Allow them to watch TV, watch this kind of program. Let them watch it. Look at a woman like you. To see this woman. To see where this woman have aspired to educationally. Look at her children. Look at her husband. Look at her life. Wouldn't you want to become somebody like that? And the girl we smile. I'm sure you know. The girl will smile. She will be happy. She will clap her hands. You know, always bring up a role model before them. Aside your own duty, aside your efforts as a parent, as a father, always present a role model before them. And also present God before them. Let them know God. And they have role models. Let them have role models. No. Show to them people, women who have risen in the society. Myself, when I look at women like Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, I look at women like Ibukong Awosika, I look at women like this woman, I'm trying to remember her name, please.
Nabdak?
I'm trying to recall her name.
Is it Dora?
Dora Kuili is there, and a whole lot of them. We have a lot of professors, female professors, coming up now. We have women now conferred in university. Like in the nation of Namibia now, a woman is a president, and the vice president too is a woman. In Zimbabwe, we have Professor Hope, she conferred a university. So you can see that in the early stage, a woman was bound from university education. Today now, a woman is conferring a university. And another woman is coming up with a university in Africa, in Nigeria. You'll hear about her soon. She's going to own a university in Nigeria. Very soon you'll hear about her. So she's coming up. These are things that were happening. In those days, women were not allowed. But now, women have free hands. A woman can go to any length she wants to go to, except she doesn't want to go to. Now. A woman is free. Now. Yes.
Well, thank you. Congratulations to the women. In fact, the freedom is there, like you said. But then, something that we need to talk about is the issue of women who tell their children. You were able to correct that lady, that girl on the street, because you were well dressed yourself. What would you have to say about women? All right? Because one of the things that made people those days to say, well, it's not good for the girl child to go to school, is the issue of dressing overexposed, over-sabi, eye-opening. You know? So we even have some people, if you go to the university, you see the way some people dress. Some people most ladies get spoiled from the four walls of the university. Yes. Like during your own time now, they even got spoiled. I don't want to use the word spoiled. They even got pregnant from the secondary school. So what would you have to say in that kind of situation? Is it not discouraging to parents and people like that if they see a girl who is not properly dressed, who is not properly packaged, who is not doing fine educationally, or trying to skip education and behave anyhow, according to the Igbo man? Don't you think you, who is also in that category, how would you talk to them? And what do you think make people behave like that? That's the women now. I'm sure you are aware. Some women can say, you know, they see other girls. Some others can say, you know, they see other girls. You know, they see Messelina. You know, they see this person. Where are they getting the money from? You know, go and follow man. You know, all these things. So what's your perception? What do you think? How can we get rid of that kind of situation? Is it possible at all amongst women?
You know, you see, whatever life is like a mirror. Whatever you keep looking have a way of returning back to you. Whatever you pick, that's why I talk about a role model. There are, despite all those ones going about getting spoiled in school, exposing themselves, looking at following men, living restless life and spoiling themselves, there are still decent women.
Sure.
There are still decent children. There are still people in the society that are still decent. There are still families that still fear God today. We still have virgins. Are you doubting me?
I don't know. I'm not doubting you. There should be.
Virgins.
There should be.
There are still virgins.
There should be.
Yes.
It's possible. It's a possibility. It's not impossible.
I know of a lady that got married not quite long, just in a few years. That lady got her master's degree in the UK. She came back and got married as a virgin. She got married as a virgin, master's degree holder.
From the UK,
Studied
United
abroad.
Kingdom.
Studied abroad. She returned back and got married as a virgin.
What do you think will keep that kind of girl? What kept her?
Her mother.
Okay.
Her mother. Yeah.
Okay.
She had a good mother. A role model. Good role model as a mother. And the mother also front her to see other role models. The mother. I knew the mother. I knew the parents of that girl. Yes.
No wonder you're talking with your full chest.
Yes. Yes. So there are still virgins in the society. There are still good girls. There are still good family. There are still good wives. And I'm aware of some women who advise their girls to go follow a man. Go follow your father's friend. A woman will not be ashamed of herself. She will advise her daughter to follow a man old as her own husband. She wants her little girl to be sleeping with a man who is as old as her own husband.
What for?
She's not afraid.
What for?
Do you get?
Money?
So,
is it?
For money. For money, to bring money for her. There are actually mothers like that. But I'm telling you that there are still other mothers who will model their daughters to live their life holy and not exposing themselves and not get spoiled in this university. Go to these universities we are talking about. You will see some sisters not wearing earrings, still wearing skirts that can cover them to everywhere, and they wear dresses well. Am I lying?
But what does that mean? Dressing like that, does it mean anything?
It means we're talking about decency.
Okay, that is covering the body.
Covering the body. We're
Okay.
talking about decency, yes. There are ladies in the universities that dresses well till today, that cover themselves till today. There are ladies in the universities that have said, I'm not going to have a boyfriend until I graduate. They are still there. Are you doubting it? Yes, it's possible. There are still people. You don't want to talk. You think it's not possible?
No, I'm not saying it's not possible. It's not possible. You know, sometimes some people will tell you it's not the way you dress, all right? But the way you dress matters, because you will always be addressed the way you are dressed. So as a matter of fact, some people will tell you, but we'll still have people who don't wear earring, who plait all back all the time, who wear long, but they still go about jumping from one bed to the other. Is it true? Let me ask you now. Are you doubting it? The way you're asking me, let me ask. Some people may dress well, you know, no earring at all, all right? But then they still go to school, and in the name of education, still go to, you know, fornicate, because they still do all these, their shady deals, even though in the daytime you see them dressed, but in the night and on people's bed, they are different thing altogether. Do we have women like that? And what's the role of those who are educated in correcting that ill?
That doesn't even have to do with education. Those are pretenders. It's a lifestyle. You can be educated and be doing that and not educated and be still in that fold. It's a lifestyle. They just decided to be a pretendant, to deceive themselves. You know, pretend that it doesn't last. No matter how long it takes, you think you are deceiving people, one day you'll be exposed. The real you will be exposed. So those are pretendants. We don't even talk about them. But we need, maybe God, when God touches them, then they will come out of it and become the real of their life, the real version of their life.
All right, Dr. Helen, so much time has been spent with you talking to the women, trying to tell us it is important to be educated. I think one of the areas that I so much love in the whole of this discussion is the impact of education on women, as it has to do with the society, as it has to do with the government, the family. In fact, you even started from the family, and the impact is unending. So finally, before I let you go, I want us to speak, just look into your camera and speak to the girl child, all right, who doesn't have access to education now for one reason or the other, and of course encourage them, the possibility of them getting to the level where you are today and what they will stand to gain, all right, if they are educated, so that somebody will not say, women's education ends in the kitchen, so there is no way need getting the education at all. All right, over to you before we call it a wrap.
Yes, to all the girl child out there, I want to address you, and I want to advise you, and I want to encourage you, and I want to let you know that don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. You are still young, you are still coming up, and you still have a lot of time allotted to your life. You have a lot of time to still achieve what you want to achieve. Believe in yourself. Encourage yourself. Don't be discouraged at all. And don't even think, where would I get the money to go to school? How will I go about it? How do I do it? If God have helped us, people like us, God has helped us. And I want to let you know that education is not a scam. If you are educated, you will become a better version of yourself. You get married to a good man. You get married to a responsible man. Do you get? So this life you are trying to, I want to make money now, I want to go into business, I want to go into show, I want to go into that, it doesn't last. I want you to build on what will last for you. Education will help you have a better future for yourself. You choose up a better career for yourself. You become a medical doctor, you become a lecturer, you become a professor, you become a chartered accountant, you become and a great woman. And most times you don't even need to wait for your husband to give you money. You have money for yourself. You become a better of yourself. You have a right to choice to choose what you want to do with your life and become a better of yourself, where people will be calling you madam, auntie, you know. So don't be discouraged. Where we're coming up is God that helped us to where we are today. And we thank God so much. I thank God so much for what God has done in my life. Today, God has helped me. I've become a PhD holder, and equally, I'm a lecturer. It wasn't my dream from the beginning, but God has helped me to where, if God can help me, I came out from a family where my father is just a peasant farmer. My father doesn't have money, but look at where I am today with God. So put your hope in God. Believe in your God, in whatever religion you belong. Just trust in the God you serve. And I know that God will take you to wherever you want to go to. And for the mother, please don't give up on that girl. Encourage her. For the father, continue to fan the flame of that girl. That's what my father did to me. That's what my parents did to me. My parents told me, they sold the idea of education to me, which I never knew about it. I never knew I was going to get to where I am today. I never knew a time will come where I'll have to sit down to address the whole world about education today, because somebody else helped me out of it. So parents, don't give up on that girl. Don't give up. I'm particular on the girl child, because we are talking about women here today. So I'm so particular on the girl child. And a woman, my heart pants after women. My heart yearns after women because of the experiences I have with so many of my colleagues who fall out of education. Even from till my PhD, I still see people who fall out of, who couldn't still graduate with me. Most of them are women. So that's why it became a passion to me that a woman should be educated. In this 21st century, a woman has to be educated. And you will go far, I'm telling you. You will go far, I'm telling you. So don't be discouraged. Parents, don't get tired of them. Don't be discouraged. And for a man who is married to a woman who is not yet educated, please encourage her. Encourage her to pick up this start learning program and improve on herself. And I know that by that, our society will become a better place. And the next generation, the next century will become, our society will become a better place. Because every day we are working out to see how things will get better for us in the society. We say we are crying for a good government. We are crying for things, the life, to better life, things to work for us. We are looking for money. We are looking for jobs. We're looking for all of this. Education too is part of the key of becoming great in life. With education, you'll be great. You can make this. Life will be better for you. So that's what I have to tell you today. That girl there, don't give up. That girl, don't give up. That woman there, don't give up. Don't give up on that child. Husband, don't give up on your girls. Even some of them that you think have already spoiled in the university, they can still change. Keep praying for them. They can still change. Some already drop out of school. Some have dropped out of school already. Like by my statistics that I did recently for the girl child that have dropped out of school, I have about 122 million girls that drop out of school in 2025 globally. And then we have like 7.6% of the girls that drop out of school in Nigeria. So things can still work out for them. Although I thank God in my time, there had never been a time I dropped out of school. I never dropped out of school. It has just
So what kept you? What kept you? Determination or what?
Determination, and I had value for education.
Right from time?
Right from time. And I kept watching people who are educated. I kept watching educated people. I kept watching them. I kept reading about them. Some I read about them, some I watch them. Yeah, so these are all what have kept me on track till now.
Let me ask you, we are rounding up already, but let me ask you, because while you were rounding up, you said something about men, all right, should encourage their wives, all right, to also get educated like them. But do you know that we have some situations where we have some women that are married to men that are not as educated as them? Does it have any implication? Yes. Or you feel it's also good for the women to encourage their husbands to...
Beautiful. Yeah. Vice versa. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But does it have any implication if the woman is more educated and the man is only operating one shop in Aba or in Alaba or in Bata in Kano? Or what do you think? Does it have any implication?
Yes, it's a matter of understanding. If the man is understanding, and if the man is secured enough to accommodate her, there's no problem.
Okay, so problem will come when there is insecurity on the part of the man.
Thank you. Because part of the reason why the African society bound a woman, that the woman education is from the 4 walls of the university to the kitchen, is because they don't want the woman to shine eyes more than them. And it's not so. Sincerely, it's not so. It's not so. Not because for the fact that a woman is educated doesn't mean she's going to rise off her shoulder. Even those who are not educated are more arrogant. Am I lying? Have you not seen a woman who is not educated as more arrogant and, So this is a personal and understanding. And most times it's even easy to manage a woman who is educated than the one who is not educated.
Are you sure?
Yes. Because there are things that they know on their own. They are mature, they have their maturity in them. And they know things, they are exposed. They know what is good and what is bad about that life. So it is personal. If you are educated and your husband is not educated, but I will always advise, always get somebody of like mind. Somebody who reasons the way you reason. Somebody who thinks the way you think, who believes in you. Who celebrates you, believe in your vision, believe that a woman can go to school, a woman can become a medical doctor, a woman can own a shop of her own, a woman can own a business of her own. Because I've seen men who get married and say, just sit down, I will be paying you. You don't need any business.
Is that not good? That's enjoyment now.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
It's not.
Why?
It's not.
Why?
It's not.
It's enjoyment. Just sit down, I'll pay you, you chop. You know, when it is time for the other room, everything in place. Is it not enjoyment?
When a woman goes out, she makes other friends. She makes choices of her own. She associates. There's the way, the education have her own role to play in the lives of a human being. And exposure have her own way. Its own way, sorry. You only be exposed by the kind of people you associate with and the kind of thing you are open to. If you are from the university and then you get married, your husband put you in the house there, just remain there at home, and then I'll be paying you money. You don't go out, you don't associate, you don't go to conferences, you don't go to anything that will make you learn. There's no exposure. The woman is not improved. So she has to go out, she has to do something for herself and get improved and get experiences. Wake up in the morning in Abuja, in a city like Abuja, wake up in the morning, be on the hold up, and you know, come back. All those things make her a better person.
All right, I know women are excited right now. But, well, I don't want to be biased. You refuse to talk about the men. Well, we're talking about the women anyway, because, but we just talked about the men a little bit when we're talking about educated woman marrying an uneducated man. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Helena Kobe. You are an educationist and, of course, a human development expert. And you made our time to be with us on Global Morning Weekend today. A lot has been said concerning the women, the girl child, women already married. I think one thing that interests me in this conversation is that we did not restrict to just the little girls who are coming up, who want to go to school and all of that, even people who are already educated, how to manage their homes and become better in the society, all have been talked about. It is so good that the discussion cut across different categories of the woman and a little touch on the part of that man. Well, we are not insecure. You say something very important, like mind, think the same thing, have the same vision, and all of that, you will make a good home. It's not all about the education sometimes. So if she's more educated than you and you don't feel insecure and you guys are flowing, it's good and fine. Once again, many thanks for joining us, Dr. Helen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, everyone. This discussion has been so intensive, educative, and informative, and I hope we've learned a lot, just like I have. As a matter of fact, we'll take a quick break. After this break, we'll return, and Global Morning Weekend continues. Thank you, everyone. We will return after this break.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Back from that break, it is still Global Morning, and that conversation was a very insightful one by Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and of course they talked about the importance of educating the girl child, and we all know that we've had that saying that if you educate a girl, you've been able to educate the entire nation. So of course I hope we would be able to understand the importance of girl child education for our nation, Nigeria. It is something that would certainly help us become a greater nation. And Nigeria, like we know, we've had a lot of challenges, but then having this put in place is something that would certainly make those challenges become history. And of course, today is a weekend, it's a Sunday, and I hope you're home and having a great time, relaxing, and maybe at your place of work, or maybe just going outside. And we would like to talk about exercising and why it is important, because you know the doctors have told us if you eat an apple a day, it keeps them away. And one other thing is you have to keep yourself in fitness every single time by going to do exercises, whether it's aerobics, whether it is skipping. All of those things are very important to keep your heart in check. And if you do that, then certainly you would be in shape, basically. So we'll be bringing you a bit of aerobics and a lot of that, of course, and many other interesting conversations will come your way after this break. Don't go anywhere.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Yes, you're welcome back. It's still Global Morning and it's the weekend edition. Like we said earlier, we would bring to you some aerobics where you would see how you could keep yourself in fitness, making sure you have a great weekend. And I'm joined by Mr. Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Mr. Ramsey, what's your perception on aerobics, keeping fit and all of that, especially during the weekend like this?
You know, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that aerobics is for people who do sports.
True.
Sportsmen and women alone. That's not it. And research has shown that a lot of people have gone down either in health, all right, or maybe disability as a result of not exercising. Exercise has a lot of health benefits, you know. And some will tell you, if you can't even do anyone at all, do sit up.
True.
If you can't sit up, press up. If you can't press up, take a walk.
Well, that basic.
We've gotten to a stage where you get to the hospital and they say, what is disturbing you? This is what you are supposed to be doing.
Just take a walk.
Just take a walk. Now we have a stopwatch, you know, something that's checked how many kilometers you've covered, how many steps you've taken, you know, how many minutes you've spent, the calories you've been able to burn, and all of that. This go a long way, helping a lot of people. But must you wait until the doctor tells you, do this, because this diagnosis, the way it's going, is something else. You need to burn out some metabolic waste from your body and all of that before you do it. Okay, maybe early hours of the morning, these days, you get to the street and you see some very elderly people, some men
on the streets,
being on the street. These are people that they walk from their room, their AC room, to their AC car, from their AC car to their AC office. So all their life, what they do is sit in one place and stay in this. They think it's enjoyment.
True.
If not until lately that the hospitals would start telling you, well, this sickness, this is what you have to do alongside. In fact, they prescribe exercise for people now.
True.
They prescribe exercise for people now. This is what you need to be doing. Some people, they even tell them you need a physiotherapist and all of that to do one or two things. You mustn't really do this thing. This is like somewhere in Lugbe also.
Yes, it looks like Lugbe.
Like this one looks like Lugbe. See, that's just burn out something. Let your heart beat. See, someone once told me, because we're arguing, some people were saying, you're talking about exercise. I don't go to the gym. I don't jog in the morning. But the kind of trekking that I do you know I'm a marketer? I can trek from one street to the other. Bros, that trekking does not increase your heartbeat.
True.
It does not bring out, you may be sweating, all right? But your heartbeat, the panting of your heartbeat is what counts most.
How fast it is.
You understand?
True.
You may be sweating. Even if you stand in the sun without doing anything, you still sweat. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. So, like we just saw now, if it is just go do even what they call monkey pose, you know, just do something, just get yourself actively, because it helps your health.
The other time, and one funny thing is some of these sicknesses that we see people coming down with would have been avoided if they were actively involved in exercise. You wouldn't have had a need of seeing a doctor. Exactly. So that's the funny thing about it for me. So we, like you were saying, that it's very important that we keep ourselves fit and we stay healthy, basically. Yes,
and do you know that some people think when you talk about exercise, aerobics, and all of that, it's just for the men. Some people think it's for the men. I know of women. I was talking to a lady some days back. I said, I only know you to know how to sing very well.
Yes.
But all these things I'm seeing on Facebook, you are at the gym today, you are doing one form of exercise. She was even exercising more than the men.
Wow.
And I saw it, I was like, well, it's good for you. So women, the only thing, well, women, forgive me. If you see a woman doing exercise, know that maybe her belly is becoming big. Then you see them doing sit-up.
That's one thing they're going to take you.
I want a flat tummy. I want a flat tummy, that's when you see them going to do some form of exercise, you know, going to the gym and all of that. But apart from that, there are so many benefits that is attached to you exercising your body as a woman.
Yes.
If you wake up in the morning, you can do just skipping. Rope skipping.
It's nothing too
in your room.
complex.
It's not difficult. I do it. It's not difficult. You can just do sit up. It's not difficult. You can just do something. Some people even go as far as maybe doing a serious dance around the room a number of times. You see your heart beating, you know, and all of that. It goes a long way. I think we have a video, right?
Yes, we do.
That we are supposed to watch. Maybe that will give you more insight on the kind of aerobics you might want to do, as a matter of fact. So before we show you that video, there is something we need to talk about when you're talking about exercise. You know, there are people that go to pay. You know, they go register in a gym. Money is not their problem.
True.
But the discipline. You registered at a gym since January. But it's only twice.
Honestly, who are you kidding?
Only once or twice that you've been there. The money is not even their problem. What am I trying to emphasize? In all of this, it's not as if it's difficult to do, but the discipline to do it.
To stay consistent.
To stay consistent. Whatever you do consistently, it doesn't matter how long you're doing it, but how consistent you are on that very particular thing you're doing.
Because to start is quite
a long
easy.
way. To start is easy. It's just like people writing. Do you know how many people wrote New Year resolution this year?
Many resolutions. I'll do
Some
this,
people have not gone to visit that note since January till now.
Which means they've probably not even implemented one of those resolutions.
You are even talking about implementation. They've forgotten the first thing on their list.
Oh my God.
Not to talk about implementation.
them.
So it's all about discipline and consistency when it has to do with exercises, aerobics. You don't, it's not, I'm not saying go and carry iron. I'm not saying Mukhtar, please from today go and start chopping iron. You know, they call it chop iron. You know, all this to carry iron, build up muscle. They call it akbobi, or what do they call it? Muscle. No, that's not what we're saying, all right? People do exercises for different reasons.
True.
And you may not know the implications of these things until you get to 40, 45, 50,
and then your
60.
body starts to...
Then your body starts, wait to this and all of that. You know, see, this is simple. For the ladies, you know, we just talked about the ladies.
Yes.
You can see what is happening. But most times you see a guy taking the lead, being the moderator, or should I say the trainer.
Yes.
All right. Most times at most gyms, you can see them in sizes. You see the size of these women. How many of them are Lekpa here? Just check the size.
That's why they're trying to keep fit and stay in shape.
Yes, you burn down fat by doing some form of aerobics. You know, it helps a lot. But wait, why are we talking about women all through today? We've dedicated today's global morning to women. Women, please, you guys should appreciate us, all the women out there, because we've dedicated today to you. That's to tell you that we are women sensitive. We are not biased.
No, we are not. We want to see women in high places and in good conversations.
I think this is good. One of the things that this does to the system, by the time you finish exercising and you sweat, your heart pants, beats very well, you get back home, take your bed, there is this level of smartness. You know, there is this level of composure, this fitness. You feel it almost immediately.
And it's not only the body, even your mind. It helps cleanse your mind.
No, it keeps you focused.
Yes, focus, that's the right word.
It keeps you focused. Exercising, this aerobics. If you're in doubt, ask any of these women if you know them. Apart from the fact that you're trying to be slim, you know, you need to be active with everything, you know, when you have the men around you and all of that, it is still very necessary for you to know that this is the benefit. This is what I stand to gain doing all of these things. So, if you're a man, but one thing is that it's never too late.
It's never too late to start. The only thing is start within your capacity, like we said.
And be consistent on it.
Yes, don't say because I want to, Mr. Ramsey said to join the gym, I'm going to start lifting
you
50
need
kilograms.
you need to know what fits you.
Exactly.
Don't go and do what will affect your bone,
Exactly.
or maybe you start going home, then you are walking with one
With a
leg.
limp.
We are limping
Yes.
because maybe one part of your bone has broken because you want to carry one iron, or you want to go and do something because you saw somebody doing it on social media.
Yes.
Na lie, oh, na AI. All right, it's so beautiful to have you join us on Global Morning today. It has been a very wonderful
Certainly
time
has.
on Global Morning Weekend, the Sunday edition that we just had. We're still waiting. What you need to do is keep watching Global Television. We are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276, and on all social media platforms at Global TV NG. Stay abreast with what is happening, because if you're not informed, you will be deformed. And of course, when you know what is happening around your environment, it will go a long way, saving you of so many things. I know a lot of people are itching to know who won in Amak, who won in Abaji, who won in Buhari, who won in is it Gwagwalada, or I'm talking about the election. But then for Kano, we are yet to tell you why PDP and of course ANPP, ADC were not on the ballot. All these details, if you want to know about it, just keep watching Global Television. I think this is the size of our conversation today on Global Morning. I think so.
No,
that's how it is.
But it's been a very great conversation.
Very great. And
with the
I think
yes.
you've been wonderful. Okay, it's like we're even doing our co
like
or somehow. All right, everyone. This is the size of this Sunday edition of Global Morning. It's tagged the weekend edition of Global Morning. But I would like to let you know that Global Television does not have an editorial contribution to the national dailies, to the newspaper headlines, and also the opinions of our guests is entirely theirs and not that of Global Television. Many thanks for joining us on the weekend edition of Global Morning today. My name is Ramsey Enoch.
I am Mukhtar Kasem.